I like to say that opportunity favors those who are prepared. And if you're not prepared, many things will pass us by. Recently, I went to the Bahamas for the first time. And I was quite surprised. I had no idea what, I mean, many of us we know all about these other countries, but we don't really truly understand what they provide until you really go there. And I realized the Bahamas is really an extension of Miami. Flat, easy to develop. And I was saying, boy, what do we have? How are we going to compete against these 1,000 room hotels and 500 room hotels? And then you went into the hotels and you saw beautiful stuff. But the most important thing for me was the service that they provided. And also, you also realize that all of the things that we take for granted here, our whole culture, our arts, our crafts, they are now trying to bring all of these things back into the hotels, which are the things that we normally do on a regular basis. And it made me realize, not that I'd forgotten, Dominica is very unique. Dominica is not Barbados. Dominica is not the Bahamas. Dominica offers a very unique product, which is basically its nature, and very importantly, our friendly people. But many times we mistake friendliness and service. So if I see you, you want to give me a lovely smile, hi, good morning, how are you, blah, 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 blah. But then when I walk into your store, and many of us have seen, when you walk into various stores, the same person was friendly to you 5 minutes ago, they turn their head. They're not looking at you. You go to the restaurant and you're eating, as Mr. Peter said, your drink is finished and you're looking for that waiter or server, and the person is nowhere to be found. Sometimes they're even hiding because they just don't want to interact with you. And service is the most important thing. So unfortunately, we know that Ross is not here anymore, but the government is working feverishly to bring other persons who can fill that void. And many persons have many different ideas. Some of them would be not to just have a pure medical school, to have an integrated type of school, have other facilities, so at least if something goes wrong, you're not fully dependent on one of them. So the government continues to work with persons and to encourage persons to come and see the university and see what opportunities there are and see how we can move things further. But obviously, in speaking with the persons here, especially in some of the stakeholder consultations that we had, some of the concerns were that, hey, we are used to dealing with long-term guests. We don't deal with them very often. We normally deal with them at month end, maybe, or sometimes maybe at the end of the semester, because maybe some of them have what do you call it, automatic wire transfers and stuff like that. So you don't necessarily have to deal with them on a regular basis. But clearly, with the short-term and the stay-over tourists, you have to interact with them a lot more. There are going to be more issues that you have to solve as quickly as possible. And the number one thing, as we said before, everybody has said before, is service. You can have a place that is not 100%, but if the service is excellent, if from the time that person gets in, the receptionist makes you have a fantastic time, they come into your room, the room is clean, the beds are properly made, you put down your stuff, somebody carries your bag to the room. You go back to get a drink. The bartender is on point. He makes you smile, he makes you laugh. So again, we have to have the right set of people in our organization. So somebody who has a bowie face can't be the person who's going to be the bartender. It has to be that bubbly type of person. So in terms of who we hire also, we have to ensure that we also hire the right people for the right fit. So listening to many of the stakeholders, they said, you know something, we need to have proper training programs for our persons. And that's why we listen to you, Mr. Rivera over there, and many other persons said, you know something, we need to have training programs to help us. As just one, there are many things that we have to do, but this is one of the most important ones that we needed to do immediately. And we listened, and that's one thing in the Ministry of Tourism and Culture. We try our best to listen and to try to implement as quickly as possible. So I'm really happy to see so many of you here today. I'm sure you have other things to do, but I'm happy to see that you're here today, and I'm hoping that the knowledge that you've gained today, you can take that knowledge and impact it on the other persons in your various organizations. I want to say special thanks to the various trainers, Katie Julian, Commissioner Richards, Nadia Lodi, and Hazel Cadet. And I'm even more impressed that many times when you have these training programs, we tend to get persons from out of Dominica, but we have our own people in Dominica who are capable of providing the training. The most important part now is for you to take that information and bring it to your staff. Sometimes you hear even the staff who get trained at the state college, you hear some of them say, you know something, I've been to the state college, and when I go back to the hotel to operate and I'm telling them the new things that I've done, my manager, my boss, my supervisor doesn't want to listen to what I have to say. So I want to say you be open, listen to the new trends, and make sure we try to implement them as much as possible. The government of Dominica, the Ministry of Tourism, our role is to bring as many people to Dominica, to make them aware of Dominica, but you too have a role. Because if there are 15 hotels inside of here, how are they going to differentiate you from the other 15 hotels? So you too have to do your part to promote your own property, to ensure that persons, when they come to the Discover Dominica Authority site, or when they come to visit Dominica online, and when they see your property via your website or your Facebook page or your Instagram page, they will want to come to that site. So you too have to do a lot of work when it comes to that part. And I dare say that even from the ministry standpoint, we will do our best to provide as much training as possible to help all of you, because if you win, we also win at the same time. Our families are going to win, and many other families are going to win if they're all employed. So I just want to say thank you very much for being here today. We are committed in terms of the training aspect, because we know training is one of the most critical parts in terms of our program, because we can make persons aware of Dominica. We can have wonderful marketing campaigns. We can improve on access to Dominica by sea, by air. We can upgrade all of our sites. But if the service that persons receive is not up to par, then all of what we've done will be in vain. So again, I think this training session is very important. And again, I look forward to you to implementing it, sharing it with your staff. During the summer months, we have additional training programs. I encourage you to join those programs. We'll also make sure that we can do some of these programs in the Portsmouth area, so your staff don't have to come all the way to town. So I really encourage you, when you hear of these programs, send your staff to those programs to ensure they're trained. So thank you very much.